Welcome to the Adventure Pro podcast. Interviews, stories and inspiration from amazing people that have made adventure their business. Today on the podcast, we have Nick Cannon-Jones. Nick is based in the Lake District and runs his own business called More Than Mountains. Welcome to the podcast. Nick, would you like to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit more about it?
Yeah, as you said, my name is Nick. I've been an outdoor instructor now for about 20 years. So came to lakes on a training course and worked full-time in a few centres, and then went freelance about 12 years ago. And throughout that time, progressed through the Mountaineering Awards to the point where I'm at now. So working in the lakes and in Scotland as a mountaineering instructor.
Cool. So what were you doing before working in centres?
So that I was at university basically. So school, right. A-levels, university, studying environmental management, and that final year of university, thinking what's next? What do I want to go and do? What am I interested in? And I got into the outdoors with the Scouts, so I sort of got into rock climbing and mountaineering through them, and had experience of being instructed and instructing other Scouts. So I kind of knew I liked being outside, liked a lot of variety, and saw an advert for an instructor training scheme. Thought I'll try that for a year, and that was 20 years ago. So straight into the outdoor world.
Oh, fabulous! Wow, and so it's taken you to a point at which now you've got your own business and you're guiding people. Is it presumably all year round? Yep. In the mountains? What does that sort of look like day to day?
I guess it varies through the year. So this time of the year, generally a bit of a quieter time of the year. So I've gone and found work with the Outward Bound Trust, working with graduates and apprentices. This time of year, they're sort of starting those programs. So it's a lot of teamwork development stuff, personal development stuff. And then moving into the new year, there's definitely a winter focus. So winter mountaineering, ice climbing, and most of that is up in Scotland in the Cairngorms. Do quite a lot of work with Glenmore Lodge up there. And then tail end of March into Easter, things start to get quite busy in the lakes with tourists. So a lot of it is introducing people to rock climbing, taking families gorge walking, teaching navigation courses. So it's a good variety, mix of stuff. And I've managed to kind of fill my year with all that stuff.
Oh, wonderful. So when you were working in centres though, was that very much you did more than just rock-based activities? You did water as well?
Yeah, so I guess first centre, Lakeside, it was mostly primary school groups. So you'd work with a group for the week and do a variety of stuff. So it would be canoeing, kayaking, rock climbing, archery, orienteering, a bit of everything, really.
Yeah. Oh, brilliant. So at what point did you think, okay, I'm going to branch off, I'm going to go, was it a qualification-based thing, or was it just this is what I have to do, and I feel confident in myself to go and branch out on my own?
It was probably a bit of both, actually. So qualifications-wise, I was definitely into my rock climbing and my mountaineering, and I was going down, having done the summer mountain leader and winter mountain leader and the mountain instructor, I was going down that route, kind of ticking off those qualifications, sort of become personal goals and challenges to kind of do the training. And what happened was I was at the point where I'd been working in a few different centres. It was like, well, what's next? Where's the career progression? Do I become a senior instructor or a activities manager or something like that? And I guess a bit of a realisation that actually that was going to put me behind a desk more of the time than being outside.
Yeah.
And then it was when I did the winter mountaineering and climbing instructor, I did the training course for that. And I thought, if I really want this, I need to up, I guess, the level at which I'm instructing. So more coaching, more skills-based coaching. And so both of those things sort of came together as I was starting to think about, do I go freelance? And that seemed to be the point where I was like, no, if I want to progress with these awards and working at that level, then freelance was the right way to go.
Sure. Oh, brilliant. Great. So we chatted before about the AMI and the role in which that plays in in the outdoor industry. I wonder if you give us a little bit of an overview of the organisation as a whole and how it's structured.
So the AMI, the Association of Mountaineering Instructors, is about 30 years old now, and it's got around about 900 members. And that was set up to support mountaineering instructors, kind of have an organisation that could represent them at a kind of national level, promote ourselves to the public, and kind of sit on the boards of the British Mountaineering Council and Mountain Training, and make sure that the awards were going in the right direction. So they've been around, as I said, sort of 30 years. And I guess I became aware of them seeing other instructors wear the little badge, on their fleece, find out about the training courses. And then I think pretty much as soon as I did my training course, the Mountaineering and Climbing Instructor Training, which is the summer training course, I kind of signed up as a member. These days they offer trainees a 3 years membership. So once you've done your training, you'll get offered a 3 years membership, and then that opens up access to trainee workshops, mentoring opportunities, and then further down the line, sort of CPD and stuff. So there's a whole load of stuff that they do for instructors now, promoting mountaineering instructors, the qualification, and what the public should be looking for.
Brilliant. And I guess it's nice to know that other people are in the same boat, as it were.
Yeah.
And it's sort of being part of almost like is it almost like a union? Is it? Do you feel like you have that sort of backing from fellow members?
Yeah, I think so. Definitely. I think going through like the trainee workshops and meeting people in a similar position, it's great. These are people I can climb with and practice the skills with, and maybe arrange the same assessments around. And then certainly the support we've had in like the last couple of years through COVID, that making sure that we're doing the right things, seem to be doing the right things, and that the support for instructors is out there. They've put a lot of work into that.
Sure. Yeah. Do you think there's been a pivotal moment in your career, Nick, where you've sort of turned around and gone, wow, yeah, I've made it. This is the pinnacle thus far. That everything's aligned, and you've thought, yeah, I'm here. I've arrived.
I think that's it's kind of an ongoing journey in the way you kind of tick these little things off along the way. So getting the MCI, and then the winter mountaineering and climbing instructor, getting those qualifications, and then actually starting to use them. I guess in the last year, having worked with Glenmore Lodge for a while at the National Centre, and I've now started working on their MCI courses. So actually working with the trainees now and bringing them through. I deliver trainee workshops in the Lake District and do a bit of mentoring. So I think that seeing that journey almost come full circle in a way, from being the trainee to now working with them. That's been really good the last year or so.
Oh, it must be pretty cool. Yeah. So you mentioned working up in Scottish winter. It's the pinnacle for many people is going up to Scotland during winter, going out climbing. I just wonder what a day in the life looks like for you up in Scotland. I presume you go up for a few weeks from the lakes. So how does that work, and what sort of clients you work with, and just what a day in the life is?
I guess, yes. Everything kind of starts with planning, and I guess the weather forecast particularly. So starting to look, I think in the next week or so, like the avalanche forecasts are going to start. So seeing keeping an eye on that, the weather, the conditions building, where you're going to go, what you can do with people. And I guess a typical day would be wake up, check the weather forecast. So MWIS, the Mountain Weather Information Service, that, and the Met Office, and then the Avalanche Information Service, their avalanche forecast. So you've got an idea of the conditions on the hill. What's really good, say particularly working at Glenmore Lodge, is that you've got up to a dozen other instructors that you can chat with. Or where are you going today? What do you think? What did you do yesterday? So you're just building up that picture of what's going on the hill, and kind of mulling that over, while you have your breakfast, and getting a good bit of food in you before the day. And then meeting the clients. So it's a mix of might be a winter skills course. People have never done anything in winter before, or a mountaineering course, which is often people who have done a bit of walking. They've maybe done an overseas trip and they're looking to progress those kind of skills to go to trekking peaks. Or, I guess winter climbing, introducing people to ice climbing, certainly giving them that Scottish experience. I've worked with people from all around the world, ice climbing with a guy from the States, and they had a very different experience of, driving to some pristine water ice. And, when you're walking in for 2 hours to get to a bit of frozen up rock and turf, it's something special about that, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, I guess, meet the clients, hopefully the road's open and you can get up the hill.
Yeah.
You have that walk in, and then the day just kind of, I guess it's just taking it one step at a time, right? Can we walk in? Can we get up to the cliff? Where are other people? Is it safe to go up the gully you're wanting to? So it's,
yeah. Oh, brilliant. Well, thanks for that. What sort of what's the biggest challenge you think you've faced in your career since having a career in the adventure industry? Are there any that stick out?
I don't know. Yeah, I was thinking about this. I suppose the weather's a bit of a constant challenge. It's are we going to get out and what we're going to do? Decisions in, I guess that decision about, am I going to go freelance? Am I going to stick with the security of a full-time job? It's been an evolving career, really. I can't think of one big challenge that I've really had to surmount. But,
you've just gone with the flow and
pretty much, yeah.
Oh, fabulous.
Yeah, I think,
That's brilliant. That's very positive. Can you think of a job that's been completely wacky and bizarre, and you've just thought, oh my goodness me, this is off the wall and not what I expected to be doing?
I guess I've been involved in a little bit of filming work, and you kind of realise just how much is involved with that. How many people there are, to make something happen. So we got involved with shooting an episode of Coronation Street.
Oh, that is so random, right?
It was great in a way because they wanted to film a scene in the Lake District and involving a mountain rescue team, and I was in the Keswick rescue team at the time, and they approached the team going, look, we want to do this scene, but we want to do it justice and do it properly, so would you be involved? So they ended up bringing us in as extras, but kind of an insight into the filming world of a lot of hanging around, wondering what's going on, and then extremely busy. I think the sort of wacky things where I remember it started to rain and the director shouting lens wiper, and this guy just appeared with a little cloth, and that was his job. It was just to
wow.
Because nothing could stop. It sort of cost money, so that was
and
I guess the wacky end, we ended up with this close up of the stretcher being winched up into the helicopter, and we were doing this with it was up in the quarry with a JCB with a stretcher dangling off the stretcher, and they brought in at great expense these big fans to recreate the downdraft of a helicopter, and everything was set up, and the director shouts action, and these fans just kind of whir up, and we all kind of look at them, and it was like this is like not that working. So I think we ended up, it was like, I don't know if you remember the old Star Trek episodes where we all were kind of shaking and trying to make it look like we were still under a helicopter. So that was I think for Wacky, stood under a JCB pretending to be winched was one of them.
Oh, brilliant. Well, that's going to take some beating, I have to say. Coronation Street. Cool. Well, I want to be respectful of your time, Nick. And at the end of each podcast, I'm asking 3 questions that about your career, really, and about your experiences, and then we'll come to a close just after that. So the first question is, what piece of advice would you give to yourself 10 years ago?
Yeah, I think that's a good one. Now, I was thinking, where was I at 10 years ago? So I guess by that point, I was quite established. It's kind of I progressed through those mountaineering awards, and I'd just gone freelance, and I was thinking, what's changed in the last 10 years? And it's probably the social media is quite a big thing now, isn't it? Like, 10 years ago, if I'd been on the ball with social media then, where could I be now? But I think, I've probably just, keep doing what you're doing, keep enjoying it, seek out those opportunities. You know, the amount of times I've just fired off an email to people going, "Oh, is there any chance I could get involved in this? I've heard about this," and that's just that positive outlook, I think.
Yeah, fabulous. Yeah, I was chatting with a friend actually recently, and we were saying how often that first no could be a yes a little bit further down the line as well, and how
Just keep punching away.
Keep punching away, exactly. Yeah. Fabulous. Right, question number 2. What valuable resources, for example, it could be a book, YouTube channel, piece of equipment, blog, podcast app, or other, can you recommend to help others following a similar path to you?
Yeah, I was going to promote the AMI a little bit more here. So,
Sure.
We've been working quite a bit with the BMC to produce some videos for YouTube. They've been received really well. So there's a good few videos out there now on scrambling and on multi-pitch climbing, and a set of winter skills videos as well. So they're really good just to sort of dip back into, as you know, particularly this time of year. I'm starting to think about Scotland, and with Amy have been doing a good sort of Facebook campaign at the moment, the Face of Winter. So there's some great top tips out there at the moment on their Facebook page.
Yeah, I've been following those,
especially.
Yeah. I was thinking about some sort of app in which you could just get those little snippets, you know, from Instagram, because I've been following those posts and just have them as a little, you know, glean just a little bit of text off, because they've been so good, so good. I've learned so much from them. Yeah, brilliant. And final question then, what would you like to see change about the adventure industry you work in, if anything?
I suppose one thing is just that still promoting the awards and that clear understanding, particularly the public understand the awards structure. It's an interesting one. So often, you know, we get inquiries about, we need a guide in the Lake District. And I'm thinking, well, I'm not a guide, I'm a mountaineering instructor, but it's how, I guess that's, people understanding that the different mountain training qualifications, mountain leader, mountain instructor, going on to the mountain guide, what different things we can do. And I suppose within that, encouraging more instructors to progress through those awards. Particularly, it'd be amazing to have like a more diverse range of instructors out there now. It's still feels like a very kind of white male cohort out there. And I guess if we can get more people involved in mountaineering and enjoying the hills, that would be great.
Fabulous. Wonderful. Well, thanks really a lot for your time, Nick. I wonder, where can people find out a little bit more about you and More Than Mountains and get in touch?
We have a website, so it's just morethanmountains.co.uk. Find us on Facebook and Instagram as well.
Excellent. Wonderful. Well, thanks again, and hopefully we'll have time for a round 2 in the future, maybe after a busy winter season for you. And best of luck up there. Might bump into you.
Yeah, that'd be great. Thanks
Cheers.
very much.
Bye. If you've enjoyed this podcast and want to hear the next one, please subscribe. Please share the podcast with your friends and followers. You can also find the Adventure Pro podcast on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook @Adventure Pro Pod.